You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it back there. Yeah, I got game, got in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it turnpike miles. Yeah, it's Google signing on.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Once a Week. I'm Billy Giannouloudis, and I can't wait to get this message to you guys. This is going to change someone's life today. But first, I want to thank everyone for coming out to the Rewire The Mind training in West Bridgewater yesterday. The turnout was incredible, and there were so many breakthroughs and life change happening for people, and it was just awesome to be a part of. If you guys couldn't make it, today's message holds a piece from that training that helped a lot of people. But keep your eyes open for the next training because you don't want to miss these things. But all that being said, let's get right into this week's message because I really believe this is going to help someone and it's going to unlock something in someone today. Because today's message, I want to dive into what one experience can do for us. Because one experience could change everything for you. Our entire life is made up from experiences, both good and bad. And we personally define our lives from what those experiences mean for us. There are people who've had something just incredible happen to them, and their life has never been the same since. For some, that's becoming a parent. To hold their child in their arms changed their life entirely. The love in that moment is just so pure. For some, accomplishing a goal that you've strived for. You poured the blood, the sweat, and the tears into your work, and it paid off. You earned the experience of holding your head high. Whether that's graduating school, getting a job, starting a business, a goal in the gym, your life changed after that experience. For some, a spiritual experience has changed your life. From whatever walk you come from and whatever you believe, an experience with God will change your life forever. And I can tell you that from personal experience. One experience could change everything. But I believe we have the power to choose when those experiences occur for us, if we want to. For instance, when we learn something new, something we can take with us to better our lives, something that unlocks power in you. It is our choice and it is your choice to take that information and better your life with it on a daily basis, or to leave it in the book, to leave it in the video, or leave it on the computer screen where you found it. There's power in what you're doing. There's power behind one experience and there's evidence behind it. Because as much as we've all had positive experiences, we have all had negative experiences that define us as well. Like a trauma. A tough experience we lived through that truthfully, it left its mark. Not too many people like to face their trauma. But the more you run from that negative experience, the more it controls you in some way. Because how our minds work is that one experience leaves a dark spot on our minds. And our nervous system sends messages constantly through our bodies. Now this connects to last week's video, the first part of this rewired process. If you haven't checked it out, I'm going to put it at the end of this video so you can make sure you give it a look. But that dark spot, if we turn from it, it is still getting a message run through it because of our nervous system. And the result is us living in a state of fear or a state of survival. If we're in a state of survival, which is stressful, if your mind and body get stuck in a state of survival for too long, the stress carries over to your genes, causing them to deteriorate and us getting sick. Because of that one experience, a negative one. Everything about us goes into whack. Go check out last week's message if you haven't yet, because the connection to our genes, our thoughts, and our experiences will become so much more clear if you see that first part. But one experience holds so much power, and we define our experiences and what they mean to us. A positive experience or a new experience could change your life forever. And what we really need to grasp on a bigger scale in our lives, the truth is that there's evidence in the world that clearly states we're not what we've been told in the past, and we're even more than what we're allowed ourselves to imagine. We're not what we've been told in the past, and we're even more than what we've been allowed to imagine. Take that in for a second. The science behind this is that once we have a direct experience of greater potential, it frees us in our minds to believe and embrace that potential in our everyday lives. And I know this is really sciencey, and you may need to watch this video a few more times, but there's so much power in this one message if you can just believe it. But an example to help it stick in our everyday lives is the 4-minute mile. Because before the 1950s, that was absolutely unheard of. But in 1954, Roger Bannister said, "I'm going to do it." And he did it. What seemed impossible to everyone was accomplished. And after that happened, everyone started running 4-minute miles or less. One experience changed everyone else's ability and belief in themselves in an instant. And on that note of belief, it's Easter Sunday right now. Today we're thankful for what Jesus Christ did on the cross. And if you're a believer, reading about the miracles that occurred and continue to occur today when Jesus helped and helps people believe, and hearing about the miracles that occurred and continue to occur through that belief, and experiencing it firsthand, whether that was 2,000 years ago or today in your own daily life, changes your life dramatically in a way you can't deny. That's power in one experience because it echoes through your life and into other people's lives. There are so many experiences we go through that we can define as something incredible. But the struggle with worldly thinking is that when we're younger, we're told to embrace the thinking of our families, our friends, and how society thinks. Which when you break that all down is in terms of limits and boundaries. We're taught that every single day of our lives. But when you can break free from that way of thinking, there are many exceptions to the laws or rules of the world. Our faith and experiences help us adjust our belief systems. It comes down to and depends upon the way we choose to think of ourselves in any given moment. When we have a new experience or witness something in another person that we once believed to be impossible, we are freed in our beliefs to change those limitations in our own lives. We choose when these experiences occur for us because we define what the experience means for us. That is what changes our lives and changes our thinking. Rewiring us to think in a better way into the next day and changing our lives into the next day. Rewiring your mind, the message from last week's video and the last couple weeks, starts with a thought. Rewiring your life starts with a thought. And if you can believe you have the power to change your life, it's time to make it happen. And the best part about that is that you already started. Because the second this video popped up and you clicked play, or last week's video popped up, It put things in motion for your life. And now it's time to act on them. All it takes is one experience, one moment to change your beliefs and change your life for the better forever. You choose when that is. Go check out last week's video if you haven't yet, because there's some power behind it. Until next week, guys, and happy Easter.
You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made.